Okay. All right. So looking at what we need to work on for today, you have number 32 narrative assigned to you. It is currently blank. Hang on. Wait until I'm done instructing, and then if you have questions, you can ask me. Okay. You have number 32 narrative posted for you, correct? All right. It tells you that what you're going to do is you're going to take your narrative from number 10, which now has corrections made on it. You're going to want to make the corrections on narrative number 10. The first thing, make corrections on narrative number 10. All right. You then copy all of what you have written from number 10 over to the document on number 32. Okay. Kyler, Natalie, Nellie, I know for a fact you guys don't have number 10 because you weren't here. So you're going to just start from fresh in what you understand about a narrative. Okay. Every one of you at least been exposed to that it needs to have an exposition where you're introducing characters, giving the main topic, right? Then you have a rising action where you show the conflicts. Climax is, where it hits the highest point when the largest conflict that you have is being resolved. The falling action is when you start to see the whole story starting to come to a wrap, and then your resolution essentially being the conclusion to your story. Don't just simply write, and that is my story. That is not a conclusion. Okay. Now, you have a horror narrative that you need to write. It needs to be a twist to what you currently have written. Okay. So you should not just copy number 10 over. All right. You need to go down to number 10, right? And every one of you at this point, well, not every one of you, but those of you that have finished have corrections to number 10 that you need to make. Make those corrections, copy and paste that information over, and you're now writing a horror narrative. Okay, there's 8 of you that have corrections made for you. All right. Once you have those corrections made, again, copy, paste it into 32, and now you're writing a horror narrative. Just like we learned yesterday in Man-Made Monsters, you can take a real story and tweak it and change it into a horror story. Right? That's exactly what Mary Shelley did. She took the idea of body snatching, changed it and tweaked it to make it to where someone would steal parts of the body, make a human again, and then reanimate it. That's the whole basis to body snatching is grave digging. If you had done Man-Made Monsters, that's exactly what it's talking about. That's why I can use the term body snatching and you understand it at this point, because your article yesterday described body snatching directly. Okay. Hold your questions just a minute. Okay. You can take your real life event and tweak it and change it. Okay. Yes, people can be harmed in it. It is a narrative. It is a fictional story. Okay. That can happen. That's why it's a narrative. That's why it's a horror narrative. That's why it's fictional. It's meant to let you be creative and show me that you understand what goes into an exposition, a rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. This year, I did not make you go through a rough or an outline for it because you guys are tired of seeing your the plot charting diagram. I know you're tired of seeing it, so I just simply removed that and allowed you to use a previous narrative that you have those basic elements in. Go ahead and take your earbuds out again. It's every day. Just don't even wear them. You don't need them, okay? Connie, you've had your hand up for a while. What's your question?
Speaking of body snatching.
Is it related to the assignment?
This is one macro grave robbery.
Okay, it's not related to the assignment. This is your opinion on body snatching. We're not doing that. Okay. Alex, you had a question? Okay, make sure that when you go to your narrative, that one of the things that when you look at number 10 is that you make sure that you, let me bring this up real quick for you. Once you go to number 10, you have to make sure that you have this in suggestion mode. and then you can have a lot more features added to it. So the way that you do that is that there's a little drop-down menu that gives you additional options once you've clicked on the document itself. So this little drop-down menu here will give you more options, and there's this little pen that shows editing mode, right? Make sure that you're in suggestion mode where edits become suggestions. It also means that you'll be able to copy and paste, okay? Now, if you are still having trouble copying and pasting, you may have to use the commands of Control-C and then Control-V to insert. Yep, okay. It was probably just a matter of making sure it's in suggestion mode. You have more options in suggesting than editing. You do have limits on your font size. 1, it needs to be double spaced. Hold on. So it needs to be double spaced. If you don't know how to double space, there's this little tab, and I'll have to enlarge here, I think. So this line spacing right here is what you want to use. And I want you to be in double space. So you'll want to come down here to that little line spacing where it's an arrow with separation in between the lines and change that to double. You also can only use Comic Sans 11-point font or Arial 12-point font. Those are both in the directions. Okay, Comic Sans 11, Arial 12. Some people ask if they could use Times New Roman. That's fine if you want to. It has to be in 12. What's up, Connie? Nope, already. You have those options I gave you. You have those options. And I don't want to spend a few hours in a couple of days here looking over assignments that are in cursive because it doesn't make it easier to read. What's up, Brooke? There isn't really a need to have to sit by friends. I'm going to say no this time around because this is individual work on a narrative. You can ask questions. You can bounce ideas off of people. If you need to, move over by them. But I because of the current state of everything and more people getting quarantined every day, I'm going to limit how much we're around each other, like how much we're within 6 feet of each other. What's up, Nelly? Okay, today we're writing. I understand, but I need to make sure that you have time to read. You can also go down during advisory